Hi, it's Ian from the Chord Company. Uh, we've been around for 40 years. We have been making hi-fi cables and expanded range for hi-fi and AV for 40 years. So one of the products that we've launched semi-recently is our English Electric One, the EE1. So English Electric is one of our brands that we do. It's got all of our networking products inside of it. And the EE1 is basically a network isolator. Network isolator, what it's doing, using something called galvanic isolation, and I won't go into what that does, but it stops the metal going in touching the metal going out. And this is because we're trying to stop network interference coming into the hi-fi system. EE1 uses galvanic isolation, as I said, as well as sort of targeted filtering. It's a really, really great product. It's been doing really, really well for us. And it really improves any hi-fi system that's got, or AV system that's got a network connection to it. And what we did was we looked at this and we said, can we do it better? Because that's always what we're trying to do, is try and make something better. Try and eke out more performance out of something. So we took the EE1 and we put it in a bigger box. And what's inside here, we've combined our EE1 technology with our ground array technology. Ground array has been around for a couple of years, but implemented it in this scenario, we've got two ground arrays inside here, isolation feet, and this is called an EE1 Plus. And this is basically the next step from the EE1. So if you've got a hi-fi that's got a network connection on it, I can highly recommend going to listen to an EE1 and an EE1 Plus. It's going to get rid of some of that gunky stuff that comes through on the network. It works really, really, really well. So we've just launched a new range of digital cables. We'll start with the Clearway. Clearway, Shoreline, which is the red one, and Epic. The big difference with these is they are now solid core. We used to use stranded core, but when we re-looked at our cables, we decided to go back to the drawing board and test all sorts of different ideas. And that's one of the things we do a lot of, is going back to the beginning and seeing if what we think we know is actually still valid. And we go back, we start on the bottom and we work our way up. And when we needed to design new digital cables, we went back to the beginning. And way back when we had some solid core cables, so we tried it again, and this is the result. So Clearway uses a solid core inside. It's also got a tuned array. Tuned array is a technology that we use to get rid of some of the internal challenges that signal has when it runs down a cable. So Clearway is the first one. Shoreline is the same. It's solid core. It's got tuned array inside, better shielding and silver plated. Yeah. And then we've got Epic. And the cool thing about Epic is while it's solid core, it's also got individually shielded conductors. So we've got two conductors in here, we've separated them and we've shielded them independently of each other, with a tuned array added to that. So these are brand new, they've just been launched, and really, really big improvement on the old cables. So very nice. It's a good question. Sometimes hard to say which, because it depends on your system you've got. But one of the ones that I think has the best value for money in terms of performance would be the Epic X. Epic X is where we've got a lot of our technologies, a lot of our materials that are proprietary and things that we use in that culminate in a point that is exceptional value for money, I think. So Epic X has silver-plated conductors, slightly thicker than the previous, or the lower range, the Shoreline. We use XLPE as a dielectric or insulation XLP is a type of material, cross-linked polyethylene. We use foil and braided based shielding on it, and we use our coralloy plating on the plugs. So it's got an array built into it. So all of these technologies and materials come together, and they're packaged in a product which gives exceptional value for money. So if I had to choose one for value, that's the one that I would choose. So when we look at designing a product, we look at our technologies, our available equipment or materials, and we try and build the best possible cable at a price point. It's always going to be about the price, what you can fit into it when you're building something, and that's anything, not just cables. So rather than look at what a competitor is and trying to beat him, we build the best possible quality we can at a specific price point. And what that means is we're benchmarking against ourselves, and we're trying to improve ourselves. We find that's the best way to get maximum performance at any given price point or at any given level of cable. So that's the biggest difference that we have when it comes to us and versus other companies. Is we challenge ourselves to be better rather than benchmarking against someone else. Quite nicely, actually. It's been good. I think cables for many years had a bad rap. We still get a bad rap from some people. There's always the people that don't get it, and that's fine. I mean, I always say, if you don't hear a difference, don't buy it. It's as simple as that. If you're not getting, but that goes for any piece of equipment. If you don't hear the difference in a speaker, you're not going to buy the speaker. If you don't hear a difference in the cable, don't buy the cable. Our job as a company is to try and make sure those differences are there, and we do that really well. But I think the perception over the last decade and maybe a bit more has changed in that more people are accepting of and can perceive those differences and hear those differences. So it's become more accepted that we are a component versus an accessory. For many years, we were just an accessory that you could buy if you needed it. And I think the mainstream is now getting the idea that cables do make a difference. So yeah, I think that's the biggest change in perception, is they actually do make a difference, and we need to pay attention to them. That's become more. I don't think it was one track. I think it was, what the coolest part for me was, it doesn't matter what track I listen to. I've got a really wide range of music that I listen to, and every single time I do a demonstration or I do it for myself and I listen from one cable to a range up, I get a difference. It doesn't matter the genre, it doesn't matter the volume that I'm playing it at. If I change the cable and I go up in the range, I hear a difference. And that was the coolest part for me. So it's not this track works, that doesn't. It's across the board. Yeah, there's lots of tracks. A lot of my favorite tracks I really enjoy using in demos. But no, there's not one track that particularly highlighted it. It's the reverse. It's all tracks. And I get really excited because it doesn't matter which track you're listening to or the genre of music you're listening to. You can get an improvement when you change your cables.
You should still let us know which your favorite track is.
Well, that changes from day to day, so well, I'll have to think about that and get back to you.